Hey YouTube, my name is Shaquil and today I'm going to be giving you a couple of tips of how to start making money on Fiverr. Right now, as we all know, it's the coronavirus and there are a lot of people working from home. They're at home. They don't know what they're going to do. And some of you may say, you know what? Fiverr is a freelancing platform. Maybe I'll look into freelancing. It's a great platform. I personally have used Fiverr. It's helped me to get some clients. Some of those clients that I've actually worked with on Fiverr have found me outside of Fiverr and have wanted to work with me. And so what I've done is I've kind of have developed a process of working with people from online. And if you want to create a Fiverr profile, what I ended up noticing very quickly was I was on the first page and I was ranked. I was doing really well, and I actually let go of that ranking because I was doing other things at the time. But if you are starting fresh, you want to start a Fiverr account, you want to offer something, I'm going to give you a couple of tips in this video of things that you can do in order to help you get your name to #1 on the Fiverr search rankings, get you to the top of everybody's mind because they're going to remember you over everybody else they're looking at, and to actually be able to convert those people into sales. So there's a couple of processes you're going to need to learn when you're looking for when you want to work with people on Fiverr. And what and I'm just going to go through a couple of tips with you because there's a couple of different things that go on in the buyer's mind. You have to remember, somebody is going on to a freelancing website. They're probably a small business owner, or maybe they're an independent and they want to start something. They don't really know. So you've got a couple of considerations that you have to take into account when you're talking to people on Fiverr. And so one of those is the buyer's persona. And one of the things that you want to know is, who is the person that I'm talking to? So typically, what I was offering on Fiverr to get me to be on the first page, and actually I was getting tons of traffic, tons of impressions. In my first month, I had over 10,000 impressions, and I think I had over, let's see here, I had over 7,000 impressions easily, and I had over 0.2% were actually reaching out and messaging me out of those 10,000. You have to understand, this is my first time ever doing anything on Fiverr. Now, I had to reach out to a certain person because I was looking for a certain persona, and I had to represent who I am to them. Like, for example, this channel is Capturemore Business because I'm targeting people who are probably familiar with this hat, 10X, that right? So I'm a fan of Grant Cardone. I know that I can communicate well with people who like that type of mindset, growth mindset of how to capture more business, capture more sales, sell more, right? So what I've been doing is, so this is just something I want to do genuinely for people because I know people are looking, and something that I've done is Fiverr is a very great tool. And I'm going to tell you right now, you want to get your persona down. Why? Because you're going to want to utilize video. So one of the things you're going to need to do is, when you create your gig on Fiverr, and there's other videos that are going to talk about how to start your gig, but I'm going to tell you a couple of tips to stand out from a crowd. So if you find this video, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, share. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put out more content, and I promise you to always make an improvement. So one thing I would say is right here, #1 is always you want to have a personal video. And that personal video is going to be a video that describes your service in 30 seconds or less. This is essentially your elevator pitch, right? So this is if I were to say to a person, hey, what do you do? Okay, well, I provide cold calling services to companies when they don't have anybody and they need to get these lists done. They provide me with the data, and I call on that, and I give them the feedback. So I either do market research, or I call on their prospects and I get answers. So basically, I could shorten that, or I could say that's under 30 seconds. I could say, hey, I provide market research for companies using cold calling techniques, or I follow up on their existing leads and I get the answer, or I forward them appointments. So these are certain things. So you want to start with your personal video, and you have to say my experience is X. My experience, my handwriting is not the best, but is X, and I am providing Y. Boom. And the reason that you want to put it in this format is because people are still barely finding you. They're looking for something particular, but they're finding you. So I listed myself under Fiverr's lead generation when it was new, right? And this is a very big tip right here. I listed myself when this lead generation was a new category for Fiverr. Because it was a new category for Fiverr, I ended up getting to the top of the search results. Not only that, of all these people who are selling international, if you're located in the US, you have a huge advantage because you could say, I'm a US-based freelancer. Now, there's some stigma about freelancers that are overseas that you can actually use to your advantage. Now, at the same time, I made the mistake of actually pricing myself still a little bit too high because of the market. When you enter into the market, you want to put yourself into an entry level where people could say, hey, I like this person, I like their service, and I like this price to give them a try. Because everybody on Fiverr, they're like, let's just test it out. If it works, I'm just telling you a secret now. They're going to say, hey, let's work together. Let's do a small order. They're always going to order the smallest package. If it works, then we're going to continue. So what you want to do is you want to have one small package that you can deliver on. So you bring your package and you deliver to your buyers with your persona. So you're attracting them. You're delivering and saying, I'm on Fiverr. This is who I am. This is who I serve. And I'm going to be delivering X, right? So my experience is X and I'm providing Y. Why would you hire me? Because I've done this before. The beautiful thing about Fiverr is you don't need to have a whole bunch of experience. You could actually say, hey, I've actually only done this a couple of times with this, this, and this, but I'm learning, and that's why my services are provided on here. I want to start my own thing. This is what I'm doing. Boom, boom, boom. You could do that. I mean, technically, you wouldn't want to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but you could say, hey, I've taken the liberty of, separating myself from my company. I've taken experience that I've had in the past, and now I'm actually providing for other people at a better rate for them. So the way that I would do that is I'm gonna have to make this into multiple videos, I'm realizing, and that's why I'm doing a live, because I want to see what happens. Because I'm still testing this out. I'm testing YouTube out as a market, and you guys are a test, but that's okay because I want to know what I can do to improve. Now, I'm putting my buyer persona out. I'm putting my personal video out, and I'm saying my experience is X, Fiverr, and I am providing Y. I'm providing advice about how to become the top freelancer on Fiverr. And I have only a few months of a test of testimony. But again, what I'm telling you is the same thing I'm delivering is the same thing I did. In a small amount of time, I was able to actually say I started as a no idea what to do on Fiverr. I had no idea. I put out a video and I said, I hope somebody likes it. And I recorded it without even putting much thought into it. And that's the beautiful thing. When you record things without putting much thought and you just let it flow natural and you just know you want to communicate a message, that's when I think the best work comes out. And so if you have a personal video, really think about it until you're like, okay, I know what I want to say, even though I don't know how to say it, and just record yourself. And maybe you might do it 2 or 3 times, but you want to have a good personal video. So for this, I would say get a good personal video, put your persona out. And again, I reemphasize, because you want to have this as your train of thought for everything you do. This is the essence of sales and marketing. And this is exactly why people are going to choose you, right? So when you put your name out there, you've already looked up a video of how to get on Fiverr. You've already looked up, okay, I've got my buyer persona. I know who I want to sell to. I know what category I want to sell it to. I know that I've got the video down. Okay, boom, that's done. Okay, boom, that's done. Boom, that's done. So I'm providing this. Now you want to provide some good copy, right? So the good copy will always have a couple of things. One thing that good copy always has is data. So One thing that somebody cannot debate is when you have a statistical fact. When somebody says, "Hey, look, I am doing this service." 70% of business owners say that they do not want to cold call. They do not like cold calling. They can't even find a cold caller, right? And so I'm providing a service that I already know 70% of people don't want to deal with, don't like, and they don't even see it as, a lot of them. Sometimes they see it as valuable, but they know it's such a pain, and they know they could do it themselves, so they're willing to actually do it if they need to. But getting through each one, it's just like a grind, and I don't want to do this. It's just taking so much energy and effort and time. These are the best services that you could sell on Fiverr. And that is a hands down, especially if you're an American freelancer and you're selling at a competitive price against international freelancers, because they're selling at rock bottom prices. But here's the thing, you're looking at this, even if you are international, if you're looking at this, you can find a way to differentiate yourself by saying, look, I have actually worked on my skills in such a way that I know already these factors are getting hit. I know you're now looking at mine. I'm boosting my SEO because you want to put a video. And another thing, once you have your copy, you have your data, you have your video, you want to share. You want to share as much as you can. I put a Medium article out. It's free to write a Medium article, and you can put something on Medium. I put my copy for my copy of my link to my Fiverr, to my Facebook. So I shared it on Facebook. I shared it in a group that I own on Facebook. I shared it to people that I know. I sent it to people, and I had people open the link and just look at it. These are all things that are going to boost. And here's another one, get just one person that you know and just post it and say, okay, here's my link gig price, and get 2-3 people that you know and just have them order the gig, give you a good review, you pay them, get that done out of the way. Because I mean, you need a couple reviews, get 1 or 2 right there. I personally never did that. I'll be 100% honest with you. I wish I would have, because I think it would have boosted me more. But if I were to restart, I know it doesn't work against you. 1 or 2 people. And I had actually somebody I know order from my Facebook when I shared it. And that ended up being my personal review. So I still have, to this day, a 5-star review. And the only reason I dropped in ratings and my SEO rankings dropped, and I could redo it. I probably will end up eventually looking at it as another lead generation opportunity, because that's what Fiverr is good for as well. But I only let it drop because I had to discount other packages because my wording wasn't correct. So you want to know who your buyers are and what you're offering and providing, and know for a fact that I can help this audience. And once you know you can help this audience, then you know, okay, I'm not going to have to refund, or I'm not going to have to rephrase and say, oh, sorry, because some people will order on Fiverr before messaging you. So write in your copy, message me before you reach out to buy the service, because you want to make sure that they're a good fit. And I would vet people, and I would say, hey, look, hey, this is what you're looking for. And there's a couple of times I had to say, hey, look, it looks like what you're looking for is this. Your budget for the project is this. My pricing is this. A lot of people are wanting to negotiate with you. That's great. I would do that, but have your minimums where you're like, okay, well, I can do that. And, I can do it for this. And this is, and you're already starting at a minimum low price. You're going to boost your sales. I mean, I would do that for the first, I wouldn't even do it for money. I would do it for the first 3 to 6 months. I would just go full on low, good price. And I would slowly raise my prices after like 2-3 months, 4 months. And if I would have done that, I really could have boosted up. But when you start with a clean record, you're starting like fresh. You have a new account. You are so great in the algorithm. You have no idea how much you could portray in the algorithm if you can just put a good video and you can just get your buyer persona targeted, because people are looking at these gigs. You put a good thumbnail and you post yourself and you said, this is who I am and I'm going to try my best for you. And don't worry about being perfect. People don't want to hire somebody who's perfect. They want to hire somebody and they say, look, I can relate to this person. I can relate to her. I can relate to him. And I can say, this is somebody who's going to work hard for me. I feel like I can trust them. They're a small business owner. etc., or small entrepreneur. So these are the people that they look at and they say, look, I really feel a connection with that person, that I trust them. And that's why I'm going to hire them. And so when it comes to Fiverr, that's the factor that will get you the sales. When they talk to you, the size of your deal is going to depend on how you're able to combat their questions, because they're going to come out act to you towards you with questions saying, hey, what do you know about this? What do you know about this? What about this? And you're going to want to say, well, typically in this situation, typically in this situation, typically in this situation, people are looking for this. I can provide this, this. Well, typically in this situation, people are looking for this. I provide this, and this. Typically in this situation. And so when you do that, you reroute all of their questions to, even if they see, okay, this is not their area of expertise, this is not their area of expertise, but their area of expertise is right here. They know that you're solid in that, and they're going to say, look, I'm going to hire this person for that when I'm thinking of that. And if they see that and they like that about you, they'll open up the opportunity for you to say, hey, for them to say, you open up the opportunity for them, actually, for them to say, hey, I'll actually take that opportunity and expand upon that with this person. And let's see if we can turn this into a collaborative partnership and work on some other side ventures as well, because I like this person. And there's always somebody out there who's got a tag, even in these times, somebody who's got a pocketbook saying, when I find the right person, I will give them opportunity for much more. And that's what's beautiful about these sites like Fiverr and stuff like that. So of course, always follow their terms of service. Always, what I would do is I would make a consulting gig. So I'll put this in another video, but I would make a consulting gig so that I could, if people wanted to talk, I would say, okay, go ahead and order my consulting gig. We can talk on there. And from there, you can actually put together a call, a structured call time and all that. And that actually allows them, you could do it for even cheap, $5 consulting for 10 minutes. And what it does is it allows people to actually have a real reason. You really provide it. You write notes. You deliver it to them. And now people are like, oh, okay, I've talked to them. I know them. I've seen them. And they're giving me something of value. Like, hey, consulting plus I'm offering this. So now people have a chance to know you, and you're not breaking terms of service, and you get to talk to them directly. So it's great. It's a great hack. I could tell you much more about it. But, as you've seen, this is already over 17 minutes. I'm going to work on making these shorter videos, and I'm going to provide action tips and actionable steps for you to make more money, more sales, and boost your business in 2020 while we've got this whole entire drama going on. Remember this, that the people who want it, no matter what, it's going to happen for you. Even if it's not now, if you keep going for it, it's going to happen later. So don't stop. Just don't compare. Just focus on what you're doing and you're going to get it. Alrighty. So thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend.